Welcome to this series where we are playing the War and Industry update for Reforged Eden, which was released in September 2023. In the last part, we were working on the engineering mission and we came to this planet to find Zirconium and Estrum, and we did okay. And we've now got to find 10 Saphian deposits, and that is probably a good segue into saying a big thank you for your comments and feedback. You guys give me a lot to think about. Now, somebody did say that the next step in this mission is to produce a lot of xenoblocks, which is going to be a bit tricky because I think there's quite a lot of grind associated with xenoblocks. So we're going to have to look into that. But in this part, I'm going to go back to my original plan because I've got a bit of a problem in the sense the ship now has got so heavy it can hardly take off. And just to show you that, if I come into here, put the thrusters on, won't worry about the shields, go here, you see here the ship can just barely get off the ground, and I still haven't really finished mining Zirconium. So what we're going to be doing in this part is doing a bit of a rebuild, giving us our ship a little bit more Now, one thing I have done in preparation for that is if I put the multi-tool on and show you what I've done up here is put an actual advanced CPU extender in here. So we've now got 1.1 million CPU, which should give us more than enough to do the changes that I want to do, simply because we've got to add some extra thrusters to get off the ground. Also, I would like to try and improve the maneuverability. Now, in preparation for doing this update, what I've done is created two internal greenhouses, is probably the best way to describe this, by enclosing my plants in interior glass. So that the idea is if I do breach the hull, which I most likely will have to, my plants will be protected and we can carry on growing. And I've done the same on this side over here. So we've got another enclosed area here all set up. We've got some crops in there, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Now, something else I've done, because between videos I've been out mining both Zirconium and Estrum, but I had a few problems. So what I did was, if I go and show you the SV, and that what I've done now is I've actually put the 4 laser drills across the front. What that does is it creates a very tight pattern for mining, because I found that with them on the sides the pattern was too wide and it was mining out far too much, especially when you've got the slightly smaller deposits of Zirconium and Estrum, which is what you've got here. You can see what I've got done here is I've mined out some Zirconium Estrum here. It says 10% left. It's less than 10% actually, but it just wasn't worth the effort mining out the rest. Now, the other thing somebody suggested, I don't know if I actually made it. Let me just look in the ammo controller. No, I don't think I've actually made it yet. What someone suggested is to put a laser turret on the top, and what I've done is I've changed the top of the MX-5E here for a flat platform, and the other thing I've also done is, because I took the laser drills off, I've put a couple of lasers in here as well, and we've now got 4 missile launchers, 2 on each side. So what we're going to do is go input. Oh, I haven't unlocked it. So we need small vessel, mechanical drill. What I want to do is unlock that laser turret, and then if we come into here, go here, just very quickly build it. There it is, SV. Make sure we got SV laser turret. Just going to very quickly build this, and I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. I've just done this, so that's in here. Quick way. We can leave that connected because I'm going to be using that as part of the construction of the ship. And what I'm going to do is going to tuck the laser turret just on the front here like that. That gives me a sentry gun at the back and a laser turret at the front. And of course, lasers are very useful for taking down shields. And what we'll do is just get in very close. Get there. Redo the turrets. Just make sure. So if I do it now, I won't forget. Get rid of that. Put the predator on, actually. I'll just get it applied to the group. Now we do have high radiation, so I can't stand on the top of the ship. But what I'll do is just going to show you. What we're going to do is we're going to be putting a nacelle out here. But what I also need is extra generation, because if you watch the previous video, you'll be aware that I ran into a slight problem with respect to the what we call it respect to power when I was taking off. So what we're going to do is, actually I can start by just do a quick fix here. I want to take out that the windows on each side, and then take these out. I'm going to be putting them back in again, but I'm not too sure where. I've got 316 steel blocks. I've also got some Xeno blocks and a few hardened steel blocks. So, but what we'll do is we'll start by blocking those back in again. And right, next thing I need to do is get rid of that. And we're going to turn on the symmetry plane. I think that's the point of symmetry, isn't it? Just check. Yep, comes down here. So I'm just going to put symmetry plane on. Of course, we're going to be working with the ship. Now I need to get down under cover. So I'm going to have to work from within the ship. Otherwise, we're going to be glowing in the dark. We're already up to 0.2 radiation, so this is probably not the best planet to be rebuilding a ship. Right, so the other thing we want is I want a couple of large thrusters, lots of small thrusters, a couple of big generators. I think I'm a bit tempted with some RCSs as well, but we're not, maybe won't put those in. So the first thing, downside of what I did was the fact we got to go through the doors now. Now, what I'm going to be doing is trying to create a couple of nacelles, but I want to push the ship backwards, because eventually what I'd like to do, because eventually what we're going to be doing here is putting a hangar deck. So this section here will be eventually extended backwards as well. So the first thing I want to do is we're going to start with one of these, and we're going to, oops, and I want to put one of these here. Just want to check the symmetry. Yeah, the symmetry is good. Now, the next thing I want is we're going to take out these blocks. I think this one across here on both sides, because I have a plan. Well, a kind of a plan. This is I know what I want to do. I just don't have a detailed plan on how I intend to turn it into reality. Next thing we're doing, I think we can use the ardent steel blocks there and there. What I want now is some down thrusters. Do I want down thrusters or lift thrusters? Let me just think. Yeah, we probably want some down thrusters. I think I would like to use the bigger these. And what I'm trying to do is improve the maneuverability of the ship. So we've now got that there. What I'm going to do is I want to put a block there, block there. Might take that out again. Now the next thing I want to put in is 2 generators, and I want to, this will make sense, put generator there. Now that kind of comes back to about here, so we're going to pick out these blocks here behind the generators. Take that out, probably take that out. I'm going to need to take these out as well. Leave that one in, and we'll do exactly the same on the other side. So we need out these to there. So we've got this kind of built in like that. Now what I want going to do is I'm going to put a 3 blocks across like that, 3 blocks like that. That blocks that in. Put 1, 2, 3 there. Then I'm going to put a row of blocks up like that and like that. That encases the generator. What I'm trying to do is how can I explain it, is separate out the various pieces. Take that out as well, and that out. Yeah, I'm trying to separate out the various components so that we don't get a chain explosion should anything happen. We'll take that out. I think I've got, I don't know why I've got a hole there, but put in, do that. Obviously we've got a broken symmetry here, but that's okay. Now the next thing I want to put in is, well, we need to take out these as well. Probably leave that one in just for the moment. And the next, and what we've got here is large thrusters. What I want to do is I'm going to put them about there, maybe up a bit. No, we'll put them down there like that. So what we've got now is and we've got 7 Xeno blocks left. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3 Xeno blocks there. Put you in there. You there. And this can go up like that. And that can go there. That can come out that way. Yeah, we can blend this in. Want to do that. Oops, I don't want that. What am I doing? Nope, wrong one. Gonna put these in here. That means that this corner block is like that. And then we can fit that together there. And that brings this out this far. Now I'm gonna come across like that. that. Now we've got, so what I'm creating here is a kind of a platform for, I think I'm probably gonna have to move actually. Too far away. Probably need to come over this side. Get rid of that. The stand about here. Actually, what we can do while we're here is a little bit of creative work. What have we got there? A steel block there. That's where the original window was. Reaver. What I'm looking for. Let's just see if it's the same on the other side. Could be there and there. Right. What I want to do now is, what I want to do is put some windows in so I know where the actual generators are. Because what it would mean is that if anything, if the generators start to develop a problem, what I can do is remove one of these blocks and gain access to the generator. So that's, so the idea is I can see where that generator actually is, and of course the same correspondingly on the other side as well. So we'll do that. For some reason I thought I had more armored windows than that construction. I'm a bit confused there, guys. I'm not seeing any on the inside. Right, I'm gonna have to make a couple of let me just see, for make a couple of those. Shouldn't take long. Let's just, oh no, I put them in. Sorry, my fail. Well, I can use those armored block windows somewhere else later on, so it's not like it's the... Right, the next thing I want to do is... Yeah, the symmetry plane is a bit out, but that's okay. I think that's down to the fact that the way that these were built. So I'm now going to retrieve... I'm not going to be working on the actual this area. What I'm going to do at the end of this session is just block this off. All I want to do is complete the actual the nacelles. So we're going to put that there, that back to player, and then what we're going to do, no, it's going to push you onto there. So that means, so the idea is these actual thrusters come a long way back. What we will do now is just make sure we're going to auto group everything. I've basically got the thrusters in, or as far as I know anyway. So we're not, but make sure we're not burning fuel. So the next thing we're going to have to do is come out, pick that on that, that. And we're now going to start there. Probably come all the way back to here. So the idea is to create a kind of an area which gives the shape of a nacelle, and then we're exactly the same underneath like that. Probably this one we're just fill in that side. Wow, we've kind of got a shape like this now. That block there. Part of me says that I should kind of put a row of blocks there to protect that generator. So we've now got this area here. Probably put that in there a bit. So then we can shape in these areas as that. Okay, let's look underneath. Right, we've got these this thruster is a bit exposed, so we can kind of just block rounds. This probably needs stuff in there. That can come there. I'll just fill this in using my totally unscientific way of blocking in everything. So we've now got the lateral thrusters and stuff. Now, before we do any detailed shaping, I have to turn off the symmetry plane. I want to see how the ship flies, because at the end of the day, this isn't about aesthetics. This is about a practical thing. What we will do, being practical, is let's pick up these as well. So come around here. I think there's some more really crops in here that need picking. No, oh, we got one. I knew there's one of them in here somewhere. So, oops. TV food, shove that in there. Right, so we're just going to go and jump into the cockpit and see how well the ship flies and how it responds. We got some down thrusters. We've got no lift thrusters or no lateral thrusters, come to think of it, but yeah, look at that. We've now actually got a climb rate. You can drop down quicker now, and if I get up some speed, we've actually got braking thrusters now. We're still a little bit shaky on the lateral thrusters. Maybe I need to put a couple of lateral thrusters. How much? We've got plenty of space for CPU. Next question is I've got to find somewhere flat to land again that isn't close to any of these air fortified anti-aircraft guns, because that would be a little bit inconvenient if I get attacked by those. They do mount quite a punch actually. When I was doing some mining earlier on, I misjudged because I was flying through the canyons and I was mining close to one, and I kind of lifted up a bit too far, and I had a couple of pretty heavy whacks from I think it was a laser weapon actually, not a, and kind of just trying to find, and I was quite lucky actually because I came very close to actually losing the shields. I kind of think I've got a lateral threat. Yeah, maybe, yeah, there's something. Right, let me just get into a position where we can answer grown. Never mind. Because I did put, we got some lift thrusters here. But we got no. I just thought I would put a lateral thruster there. That could stay there for the moment. Because I don't know where the got the braking thruster there. What's behind this block here? See, if I take that out, that will lose the protection of the generator. I don't want to do that. I suppose technically, I don't really want to do that either. If I take out that block, what have we got here? We got a couple of blocks there. Okay, right. What I'm gonna do is take out. That's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna take out one that lines up with this line here. It's 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna take out. Why has that got an extra block on the corner? That right? Apologies, I just want to make sure that comes back level with there on two sides. Then it comes back that way. Oh, I must have taken the block out there. So need to put that block back in again. And then what we will do, but I think I'm happy for that to be there just for the moment. I mean, I can almost guarantee that I'm going to be rebuilding this in a little while again. I think what we'll do is we'll put a couple of blocks there, and then we can kind of meld that corner into there, and then change this to a kind of flared position. So we just do what we're going to do now is just kind of block in some of the main parts. So we'll put that in there and there just to create the outside effect. And just 1, 2. Maybe you can come back 3. You could probably come back 3 as well on the outside. So that kind of creates that visual effect there. Part of me feels that what we probably need to do is kind of come out a bit like that. That's slightly off center, but that's okay. Actually, we could come down like that, and then that can create a kind of a shape like that. Actually, if I take off yeah, I think part of the we take off 2, 3. Oops. Take off 3 like that. Yeah, I'm getting a feel for it now. What was it? It was on the inside, wasn't it? 1, 2, 3, like that on the inside. Actually, just had a thought. I like. Let's go do something a little bit different. Maybe we're coming back to like that. 2, 3 like that. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3 like that. There's a block there that shouldn't be there now anymore. That needs to come out. Okay, for some reason. Oh, I haven't got the. Oh, that's okay. I can do these bits manually, so we can get the right visual effect. Actually, I'll take off those 2 blocks at the back, bottom like that, because that doesn't have the extra blocks, so you can trim you back. How far back do you go? You go right back some distance. Take you back to about there. One, 2, 3. Get these in, and then we can shape the rest of the ship in as we go. 2, 3. Right, what we will do, let's put the symmetry plane back on again now. N plane, yeah. So we've got this kind of shaped in like this. We'll keep this. What we're going to do is keep this kind of leveled build here. This can get us in as a block. We're trying to come back. Be that far. Put a block in there. Did we see? I want to create a slight visual effect here, and this has to be like double part. So if we kind of put 1, 2 there, put you, oops, put you in right behind there. So we can put in 1, 2 blocks there. So that kind of smooths that area in like that. We need to merge that in. I think I know the block I need to do that. It's the one that goes from square to circular. In here somewhere. You can just never seem to be able to find it. Actually, it's this one. In here, actually, I think it's that one. Let me just see. It might be easier on this side. Put it on this side. Nope. Right, we need to take out you. Just make sure that they're both removed. Then we're that is it, isn't it? Let me just check. Be sure of that. Got it. Sometimes it can be very hard to tell with these curved ones. I think that's it. Just double check on this side. Why didn't it? That's the wrong one. I mean, there is a symmetry there, isn't it? Let me just see if we can. That is there. Brings the block out that way. Just want to see. I think these might be left and right-handed, so. If I. Nope, still wrong. Let me just check. Oops. That's right, that's left. Have a look. I think that goes in there like that. That will merge in there. I'm not exactly sure what how we're gonna do that bit there. That blends in this bit here, and then kind of right. Let's just check the other side. So that is now blended into there, and that is blended into there. We can now in 1, 2, 3 there. I think I'll just go for 1, 2, 3 there. Bring that out. It's going to keep the shape simple. I don't want to get too elaborate. Get you there. You there. I have to try and blend in this bit here. Somehow the rock here is going to be a bit of a pain in the neck. It's probably in the way. I'm trying to think. What do I need to? Well, we got an enhanced laser drill. So if I go to player, got the enhanced laser drill. View. That's probably been interfering with what I've been doing here. So right, there's a gap there, gap there. Why is that top one not merged in? That merges there. That needs to be merged in as well. So what's that? One. That merges it into there. Have I done the one the other side? It's done. So what we can do, this one hasn't gone in. The game is annoying me a little bit. I got the symmetry plane working correctly. Yeah, well, what is it? Yeah, it should be. I think for the purposes of here, so I don't want to put too many blocks on. So Go 1, 2. That should bring that area in like that. And we've got to find some way to smooth that off. I think we're go 1. Oops. Wow, I'm out of blocks. Oh no. Haha. 1, 2, 3. That one's going to be a bit tricky, so we'll leave that the way it is for the moment. Just make sure that that's the one that's open there. So we've got this bit here. Right, I need you in there. You in there. That kind of leaves this block a bit stuck out, but I think I'm going to be okay with that at the moment. This is, I think it's this one, but we gotta turn it over that way. Brings this one in here, and then we need something that starts square. Done it. That brings that corner in. This is all going to be a little bit of a dog's dinner. I'm going to need to take out that block there. Leave that block there. So actually, we're just going to hand build these in rather than what we got there. Oh, that's the thruster. That's good. Right, we got a couple of hardened blocks. Not many, but we can just put in that corner there with a hardened block. Let's go and see how the corner looks here. This looks feels a bit incomplete. I wonder if that right. So got that bit in there. It's trying to think which one this would be. Kind of, there's part of me that there's almost to leave this the way it is, but then maybe not. I think I'm going to leave it for the moment. As I say, I don't want this whole corner here. We just put this in here. Oops. I think we do that, and then bring you into there. We just got to blend in that slightly awkward bit there. I mean, I can always change the design as I go along. Often do. I think that's okay. We just got this very odd block in the corner. I think at the moment I'm just going to tuck a block in there for the moment. We got a very square point there, and then what we got is put in something like that, and then put something just like that in that corner there, which then fills in this to see if it's all rounded out. Yeah, I can put in something there that matches that bit there, and then that matches this area here. Also, because it all looks very, very blocky at the moment, but as I say, I would like to kind of we will adjust it over time. I think I'll put something just in that corner edge there like that. Now it kind of shapes it in a little bit. Don't like this bit here that much at the moment. That kind of comes out. I think we're 1, 2, 3 like that, and then we're kind of creates a little bit of a visual effect there, and then we can kind of just merge it in a little bit like that on that side. So we've got a kind of visual build up there. I think for the moment that's going to be good, because of course if the ship gets bigger, this nacelle will get wider because we'll put another 2 of these on each side. So I think I don't want this video to be too long, so what I'm going to do, just for purposes of just going to seal the back off like this for the moment, like that, because all this has to be completely rebuilt sometime in the future. There's no point worrying too much about it at the moment. And you can see it is a bit asymmetrical. There's 3 blocks that side, 2 blocks this side, because that is like that. But as I say, what I'm going to tend to do is kind of rip all this off later on, and we'll reshape this completely. And what we're most likely will do is bring this back, because what I would mind is actually another grow plot on each side, just a single group of 9 here coming backwards to fill the ship out that way. So we may actually extend the nacelles back further over time. And I'm aware that I'm running out of time, so what I'm going to do is we'll just stop that thing squeaky horribly thingy mains. I did, oh, aha, my texture tool was already on my button. Right, I should have left the symmetry plane on actually. If we switch it on, get back on again, eat a bit of food, eat a burger. Do it on that side. Don't think I get the fluctuation, it's just so much. I think we'll start with putting the black banding on, put the ship there, put the black banding around like that. Then we go lights. I must admit, I do like plain. That might be a bit too bright. Actually, quite like that actually. Not at all. No, black. Go in there. I can donk, donk. We could pull that in. There. That there. That can go. Sometimes when you texture things in, it actually helps a little bit better realizing the shape. Like that, you can see, gives you a better idea of the contrast of what you need to fit in there. I think at the moment we're just going to leave it like that, create a kind of bit of illusion of a ducting. And that should be it. I mean, it makes the ship look a lot better. Put in that little bit there. Also, it gives us potential for another gun position up here as well. And this, oops, we've got a, that's the, for some reason the black line is not been, I think maybe we're just do that. I think it's because this has already been textured, so just do that as well. Get you there, and that can stop at that position. That, just check the other side. And what we can do is pop you down there. You there. That broken symmetry is going to irritate me, but we will be back to build the hangar deck. And we'll just put in this little bit here. Actually, I think just a kind of make the add a little bit of contrast in here. That, yeah. I think just to finish off, I know I've said it before, but take that off work, and I didn't even kill my plants, which is pretty good. And so we got the windows there, and we're just gonna have a little bit of a final test flight just so that we can see what we got. Actually, what's the CPU? We still got quite a lot of capacity, so we could put some more guns on if necessary. But we could probably put some missile defense on actually. We're gonna need to auto group. Make sure everything is in there. Just so you can see the back of it. Just the old. So that's the way we look now. So we kind of got that delta formation growing quite nicely now. I quite like that. And as I say, what I'll do is probably extend the back of the ship with the hangar deck and also the grow plots, and then that will mean, and eventually we can widen the nacelles and maybe push them back a little bit further. So, oops, we need to level off a bit. So yeah, so this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.